fascists, racists, Nazis, homophobes, Islamophobes, and many others. Those are just few of the accurate terms that I have used to describe MAGA, formerly known as the Republican Party of the United States of America, now known solely as traitors and scumbags. Well, it just never stops. Couple of points today, couple of issues on this rather short podcast. There was an article that originally came out in Politico, which had to do with, what does it say, 2,900 pages of messages over the course of 9 months that were posted on Telegram by the Republican Party of the United States, the young Republican Party of the United States, the youth of the Republican Party, or MAGA. Don't be fooled. These are not children. These are people in their 20s, from their late teens to their late 20s. These are adults, usually college graduates. And what they did is they posted some really horrific statements, some really horrific comments on Telegram over the course of about 9 months. And as this report in Politico says, almost 3,000 of these posts were made, or at least were seen and gathered by Politico. And you're thinking, well, so what? Well, so what? There's some of the most disgusting, vile posts that not that I've ever seen, but that any group affiliated with any organized political party has made thus far. Vile, racist, really racist, bigoted, Nazism, fascism, just calls for violence, certainly anti-Semitic. Let me just read a little bit of the reporting from Politico, and then you decide. Over 7 months in 2,900 pages of messages sent over Telegram, elected Republicans and leaders of local groups for young party activists in New York, Vermont, Arizona, and Kansas routinely used racists and homophobic language and glibly invoked Hitler and the Holocaust. The texts, reported on Tuesday by Politico, were part of a Restore I War Room chat of about a dozen Gen X and millennial Republicans, some of whom held jobs in elected officials' offices or in government posts. The exchanges mixed politics with personal matters, laced throughout with offensive language that was shocking for its volume and group think. Peter Giunta, chief of staff to Mike Riley, a New York assemblyman, posted, "I love Hitler," and wrote, "If your pilot is a she, and she looks 10 shades darker than someone from Sicily, just end it there. Scream the no, no word." At another point, according to Politico, Mr. Giunta was asked if he was watching an NBA game, and he responded, "I'd go to the zoo if I wanted to watch monkey play ball." In a June message, he wrote that everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. And it goes on and on. There were calls for death to all liberals, to Jews, to African Americans, to basically anybody they didn't like. I don't know what to say other than it's disgusting, except to say this, that obviously, or we should expect today, that no senior elected Republican or MAGA official would say anything to condemn this. No. The racist in chief, the asshole, the scumbag in chief of this country, J.D. Vance, when confronted about this by reporters, brushed it off and said, the chat is what kids do. You piece of shit. J.D. Vance, you piece of shit. And that's what it's come down to in this country. A group representing a major political party, the political party in power in this country right now, posts all kinds of the most vile comments against people of color, against Jews, against gays, against women, calling for death to these people and worse. And it's okay. The elected officials in that party, MAGA, the senior elected officials, all the way up to J.D. Vance, vice president, and Trump, who of course has said nothing, just shrug it off as kids being kids. It ain't kids being kids, it's scumbags being scumbags. And MAGA, you gotta go. Your time isn't going to be very long. Um, you're loathsome, loathsome creatures. You're scumbags, you're traitors, you're not Americans, you're not even human. I don't even want to get into it anymore. Your time here is very, very short. Expect Nuremberg like trials after the next elections. And if you don't call any elections, and that's time for another podcast, whether or not we'll have elections, expect massive, massive, peaceful street demonstrations. Okay? Just warning you. The only other thing I'd like to say, and end it on a positive note, actually, is that all but one of the Pentagon press corps, the reporters, the journalists who regularly report on the U.S. military out of the Pentagon, left. They turned in their badges yesterday and walked out. Why? Because Pete Hegseth, the alcoholic in charge of the Pentagon, greatly restricted where they can go and what they can say. They would have had to have passed basically a loyalty test, and he or someone under him in the Pentagon would have had to have approved all reporting out of the Pentagon. And God bless them for finally standing up for themselves. And they basically said, fuck you. Fuck you. We'll still report on the Pentagon, Hegseth. We'll still report on your incompetence, but we'll do it from outside the building. That's all. So kudos to the former, well, there's still the Pentagon press corps. They'll just be reporting outside the building. Really, my hat's off to you. Kudos to you. Congratulations for finally finding a spine. May it grow stronger, and may this be the start of something better. And that's all for this podcast. As always, please subscribe to this podcast, to this channel, to the No Delusion Zone. And if you're watching this on the website, which is protectingtherepublic.com, please become a paid subscriber. I need all the paid subscribers I can get to continue to do this. Otherwise, it's going to be a rough road to hoe. I am the voice, or one of the voices of the opposition. And there's not enough of us out here. So please become a paid subscriber or sign up for a free 7-day trial subscription. And then hopefully you like what you see and hear, and you will become a paid subscriber. Also tell your friends and colleagues about this. Until the next time, you all take care. Stay safe. And as always, you stay sane.